everyone. I'm your host, Kate Port, and in this episode, I'm joined by our Digibee founders, Rodrigo and Peter. So thanks for joining me today, guys.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thanks for having us, Kate.
Yeah, I don't think I would be here without you guys. So it's great to have you on this Digibee podcast. So to kick things off, Rodrigo, tell me a little bit about when someone asks you who or what Digibee is, what do you say?
Oh, it depends. If it's my grandmother asking, I just give up. Right? I say, come on, you will never understand. But it's not that hard, right? Digibee is a techie platform, and sometimes people feel that we're just talking to other geeks. But what we do is really simple. We help large organizations to better connect their systems. You know, a large organization, they have different applications. They have their e-commerce applications. They have their ERP, which will invoice their customers. And sometimes they simply don't talk to each other. And that has been a burden to every single company in the world. We are making that connectivity problem between applications going away through our integration platform. We developed this technology where we can very elegantly and bold work on the technicalities without the need of being so technical, you know. You see, not easy to speak to my grandmother, but I believe that the enterprise team will understand about it.
Absolutely, right? A connection is going to mean one thing to one person and another to, a more technical person, but we can all understand the concept of bringing those things together. So I actually love that description because it simplifies it, right? Of course, we can go more technical, and I'm sure we will at some point in the podcast, but not for today. So Peter, I'm going to switch over to you a little bit, but you built the platform, right? When Rodrigo came with this crazy idea. So when it first came to you guys, what was the problem that you were really trying to solve?
Excellent question, Katie. And we've worked on that space for many years, right? So we actually saw the pain that these organizations had. And I worked closely with Rodrigo. Rodrigo was always the sales guy, and I was the technical guy helping him out. And we always wondered, hey, come on, we can do this, right? And we always dreamed about doing something different and really helping out the organizations by ourselves, right? So it all started when we had the opportunity to build and to deliver a marketplace for then to be customer. And by building that marketplace, we actually happened to be a marketplace, a food marketplace. We came across, guess what? The integration problem again. And we said, hey, come on. We know how to do this. In order to do this, we will deliver the project. So why not build the platform and then deliver the project, right? And that's exactly what we did, right? And I believe, looking back now, we were very clever to honor our commitments with the project that was very serious to us, but at the same point, having that platform mindset that could actually be the seed for what Digibee is today, right?
I think it's so interesting how, amongst the founders, right? Vitor is absent for today, but obviously a huge part of how this was built. You each had your respective roles, experience, big company, what's this challenge, tried to solve a problem and then pivoted into, hey, there's this real opportunity. And I love those stories of those pivots because it's always the case, right? Being able to react quickly to feedback that you're getting. You guys were able to start this platform based on pivoting from marketplace connectivity to saying, hey, this is a bigger problem. There's a bigger opportunity here. And that's just really, really wonderful to hear and fantastic that you were able to figure that out and not kill each other in the process.
Almost.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a topic for a different day is how were the schemes created, right? But one of the things, I've been here for just about a year, right? And we've talked about the influence of your families and your technology, right? We've all had influence from our families for a variety of reasons. And Rodrigo, you talked about how motivated you were by your family and your father, and more importantly, that they were in. He was in IT, and there's this reputation that IT has all of this access and importance. And I think that certainly seems to come through in influencing how the company was shaped. And I think, for Peter, similarly. But for you, Rodrigo, why decide on IT? How did we get to the focus on that industry, and really where you wanted to help out when you thought about taking this step to entrepreneurship?
Okay, so, well, I am from a family of IT professionals. My dad, he used to be a CIO, and my two brothers, both of them, they work for IT, large organizations. So, yeah, and not only that, my family, I have cousins, friends, everybody around came from that environment. And I started as a technician, right, following my dad's path. But very early in my career, I start helping sales. And when I feel that taste about selling, that really got me. And I stayed the rest of my career working for sales after this initial technical job that I had. And, in all my life, I was having to deal with people like my father, the CIOs, because I was ultimately selling to them, to the CIOs. And we start seeing with all this movement of digital transformations that sometimes the IT departments and the CIOs, they were struggling to deliver value back to the business. They start to be seen as, people that was not delivering the backlogs, not responding to the business. But the reality, they had to deal with so many things that's really hard to innovate in that environment. So, and I was really concerned about it. And a big part of the motivation we have is how can we better support that kind of professional, the CIO, the IT professional? How can we bring technologies to them would make their lives easier, would make them look like hero to the rest of the organization? And a big part of our strategy when we build our narrative or we develop our product, and it is how we're gonna make the IT professionals' lives better. How will we make them to look good? The very way I see my father when I was a kid, those guys are heroes, and they're still heroes. The IT operations these days are holding the whole business up. We can't simply move away or treat them as a second-class citizen. So that's not the truth anymore. You know what? The CEOs of the greatest organizations on earth, they all have a technical background. This is the way to be. And we are there to help not only the IT professionals, but everybody to succeed in this digital transformation world.
Well, I mean, so many parts of that are so critical, right? Everyone is, the word digital today means so much more than it did 5, 10, 20 years ago. And I think that between you and Peter, you have a really nice balance where part of what we're doing is building a platform that makes IT look good and can deliver on what they want. But you two have been able to riff off of that as you've built the company, saying, well, how can we appeal to Peter's team? How can we appeal to the sales organization? How can we get those two working together? And I think, again, it goes back to connection. So I think if we take back what we started in the beginning of the episode about it being about connection, this is really great that the two of you have come together to build the platform, and very much looking forward to future conversations. But this has been a great one, and next time we'll talk about some other topics. But thank you both for joining for today, and we'll have the next episode here coming up.
Excellent. Thank you, Kate.